Feel incredible!
It's not a cartoon, it's anime!
Yes, Brennan tore up his whole room like a tornado. He's tired too. Look at him. If y'all can see Brennan right now,
Winded.
That's what I'm saying. He's so unathletic. I promise you, this man is garbage.
Yeah, y'all gotta tune into the
Hilarious.
YouTube, man. I know y'all on Spotify, y'all listen, y'all rock with us. Turn it to the YouTube. Brennan is winded, and thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. And I'm Animeshun. The whole squad is here this time. Myself, Rob, Brennan, Ice. We are up in this thing.
Gang.
Power
Brennan,
up,
I think
gang.
you just lost your deposit on your apartment with that
That's what I
power
was
up.
about to say. Do you have anybody under you or above you?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely top floor.
Oh wow!
Definitely,
You about to get you definitely ain't you black. You definitely getting a complaint.
No, I definitely. I actually went around to I live with my first cousin, and him and his girlfriend are like chilling, just like watching a movie. And like before we recorded today, I was like, "Hey, knock. Hey guys, how you doing? I'm gonna be doing that anime thing this morning, and I'm gonna do something today, so I'm okay. Just letting you guys know that it's gonna get loud for a second, but I'm okay. Just that's it.
Everything's
I feel like
fine.
Amir knows though, right?
Well, I mean, he knows what it is, but I haven't
Yeah.
I haven't flipped things over. That was the
It's
first.
quite a clatter, I'm sure.
Yeah,
What about
I-
your lady too? Where is she at during this process?
She's in the other room, in the living room over there. She's oh man, I actually completely split my nail that time doing that.
You
one.
Oh my
deserve
god.
to.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that was-
god.
Like it's like split all the way down.
I
the middle.
bet
That's a
that
fun split.
hurt.
I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it.
Feel it soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, you will.
No, I feel it now. I definitely feel it now. 100%.
Brennan out here is breaking his nails.
Ow, my nails. Gotta go
For
get a
y'all
new
out here.
manny.
For y'all, man. We
Hey,
are
man.
here this week again. You know what we do one-off debates. We go at it. We fight. This is what we do out here in these streets. Brennan already took his headphones off because he don't want to hear the bullshit. But I just gonna slip it in there. I'm sure probably in the middle of the podcast.
I'm not hearing y'all, but I know he's about to
You
do
never
it.
know.
Yeah,
Hold on,
okay.
I'm about to.
But it's all good, man.
I'm about to mouth it. So he.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you, yeah.
Okay, got you.
I can tell you're not doing that, Ice. In case you're not acting as trash. If that was your thing, when you saying something, because it didn't look like Ice was saying anything, and I can't hear it, guys. Just so you know, but I can tell he didn't say it. He had a different
He said
vibe.
you're acting trash, bro. He said, "Go ahead, man. You live in Hollywood. Take an acting class. It costs $300 a month."
I didn't took a lot of fucking acting classes. I think my pockets are good.
Oh man, yeah, they be hitting the pockets for it. But this week
I'm sure.
is another pick for us. This week is Ice's pick, and we are doing Deadman Wonderland.
Deadman Wonderland in this bitch. You already know what it is.
All right, Brendan, do you have any actual factuals about Deadman Wonderland?
Oh, this man was so worried about flipping his room, he didn't remember to get any facts about the anime.
Did you not?
Are you serious?
I feel like he did. I feel like he's bullshitting. I feel like he's bullshitting. Because at the end of the day,
Keenan. Good
Brennan,
call, Keenan.
yeah, I knew he was bullshit because Brendan wrote me like 7 questions for this fucking episode. So I was like, there's no way he did no research.
fact.
He shot me 7 questions.
You guys, I guarantee you a treat today on this day of actual factuals. We
Okay.
have an interesting experience coming to us, brought to you by none other than the man who picked this show himself. Ice, can we get a shout out right there? Ice McGowan. Thank you so much for bringing
My
us this
full
show. All right, so this is Deadman Wonderland. It's the manga series came out in May of 2007 and ran until August of 2013. It was written by a artist her name was Jinsei Katoka, and she also wrote the series Eureka 7. Which most people have heard of. Now, the thing is, I don't actually know. I didn't get to dig into, is this a different Eureka 7 or not? Because everybody always just calls it Eureka 7. There's a name that comes before that I'm going to attempt to pronounce. That maybe there's a reason why nobody says it. It's Kukyoshinihin. Kukyoshinihin? Eureka 7 is the name
Eureka
of it.
7. That's the name of the shit.
That came up with
what it's
spell
called,
check,
bro.
no suggestions. You
Okay,
know what I
just-
mean? When you
just put it
fuck
out
up the
there,
word
maybe
so
something
bad,
different. So I just got to make sure we understand that it could be something different. But for the anime,
could be
it was-
something different.
Actually, we're going to start different. From the anime, we'll get back to that person. It was written by a person named Yasuyuki Muto, who also wrote the Afro Samurai show, wrote a bunch of Mobile Suit Gundams, Real Drive,
for the
Bible
record,
Black,
I'm going to put
Body
him out
Transfer.
here because we've had a conversation about this. Rob does not like Afro Samurai.
I'm sorry, what?
We talked about this on the show. I thought it was. I thought it was
block things
alright.
out sometimes, Rob.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
I
and
remember
Rob
now.
is not a fan. He like personally messaged me one time when we were talking about it. He was like, "Nah, fam, you're good." Like, cause I ain't never watched it, so I was like, "Oh, I should watch it." Rob was like, "Nah, bro, you're good."
I think
Don't worry
I
about
think
it.
you enjoy
Alright.
Afro Samurai personally. Like, if you want to see hands get thrown, that is hands get thrown. As Rob will not argue. Like they
No,
throw some
people
very
get
real
fucked
hands.
up. But does the story make any sense? No.
It's okay. It's fine. But the hands get thrown.
It's alright.
Let's put it this way.
The
It's
action
better
is
than
good.
boxing.
The action is good.
It's better than
Yes.
boxing.
Yes. But if you're expecting something that you're going to like change your life forever, I wouldn't say Afro
What
Samurai.
anime has changed? How many anime have changed your life forever, Rob?
I mean, maybe a couple.
Oh my god.
Pokemon.
Moving on. The studio was named Manglobe, which is an operation from 2002 until 2015. The two producers that they came from Sunrise Studios, which we know is one of the biggest anime studios in the world. They started it, but they actually went bankrupt in 2015 because they fell into debt for 350 million yen.
Ooh.
That raises a
Okay.
question because I had that same feeling, Rob. How much is 350 million yen? Let's get some guess, guys. What you got? Okay, hands up. I don't want to know computers being used.
And
Like we be stealing or some shit.
Yeah.
and
Let me see the
American
hands.
dollars, you said 300. Say it again.
350 million yen. How much is that in American dollars?
I'm going to guess 50 mil. 50 mil.
That's Rob's guess. Keenan?
I'm gonna say about like 20 mil.
20 mil? Ice?
350 mil. That got to be like maybe 5 mil.
5 mil? The actual answer is $33,875.83.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, I knew
They
it wasn't a
went
lot.
bankrupt for $30-something thousand. That had to be a piece of one of their budgets. It's just like, y'all just, I don't get it. But I do
Wow.
actually get it. The funny thing is I don't, but I do. And that's the actual fun part of what I was going to say first. I think the actual factual been good so far, but this is when it becomes great. Let's look back into this place. They worked on, their very first one was, the first anime they ever made was Samurai Champloo, which is crazy. Then they did a long list of like, that I don't know much of them, Ergo Proxy, Mitchell and Hachin, The Sacred Blacksmith, House of the Lot, Five Leaves, The World God Only Knows, Mashimori Symphony, Hayatai, The Combat Butler, Can't Take My Eyes Off You, Unlimited Cycle Squad, Carnival, Hayate, The Combat Butler's Cuties, The World God Only Knows, Goddesses, and Samurai Flamenco. But
No.
that's not their last one. That was their second to last anime. Now we're going to start talking about the director. The director is a guy named Kayashori Hatsuma. He worked in a lot of animation departments, but he also directed a few things. He directed Dororo, a couple episodes of the Blue Exorcist, the Kyoto Saga. And he worked in the animation department for a single episode of Cowboy Bebop. If you guys remember the episode that was ironically in an amusement park where there was a guy that had like a bubble
Oh,
body.
yeah.
and
That one
yeah.
was pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you can't
That
forget
was
that
one
one.
of the better Cowboy
Episodes.
Bebop episodes too.
Yeah, it was a good
so
one.
he was
That was
in the
creepy.
animation department for that. And also, this show, if you guys didn't know, actually aired at one time, I think back in 2012 on Toonami.
Konami, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You guys should know that name. You also should know that description because I've said that exact word for word almost description to you before for director, I believe. We know this director. That's the reason why today's Factual Actual is really good. We know this studio. Ice, you want to guess what show was directed? What show was directed and what studio did this show that we've already reviewed before? You want to take a guess, Ice?
Goblin Slayer?
No.
Oh,
Look,
Gangsta.
Gangsta.
That's what it is.
Gangsta was made by this same motherfucking director and studio.
Yeah, that's
I'd like to point that out. I bet you Ice didn't know that before he picked it, guys.
No, not at
I
all.
bet you he didn't know that. And Rob doesn't look surprised. So that ends the Factual Actuals for today, gentlemen. And I hope you enjoyed it. Let's get into it, guys.
This is why you said my name in the beginning. I get it now. It all makes sense. That was
all
part of your
coming
plan
together.
all along.
Man,
That was
yeah,
his
let me tell you
plan
something,
all
Ice.
along,
This
yeah.
is not starting off well at all for you. You picked this, and let me tell you something. And I got some of my stuff mixed up because with this particular anime, I kept thinking it was for some reason 24 episodes, but it wasn't. I kept getting my shit mixed
So
up.
happy for that.
So happy also. But I was telling Ice, I was like, hey man, I don't know, man. I was like, maybe you can go, somewhere else. I think he even said, I remember you was thinking of Doro.
Doro. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were thinking of that at one point, which I think you probably should have went with. Because this, I was just like, I mean, I've already seen it. And we're going to have some fun.
There we go. Wow.
We are gonna have some
for
fun.
me, let me just preface with this.
Wait.
Let me just preface with this as far as like why I picked it because as Keenan could attest to, well he doesn't agree, but I
The
feel
method behind the madness.
we've been real like safe lately, safe and popular, and I'm like, fam, like we gotta mix it up. We gotta go, a little left. We gotta go back into the darkness. We ain't been dark. Parasite was a little dark, but I was like, we gotta go deeper. We gotta go darker. So I did some research, a little research, and this is one of the animes that popped up.
So I have a question.
I never said anything about not going. I never said
I have
about
a
going
question.
darker. You can
No,
go darker
not
if you
going
want.
darker. You said we should play. You said like we should stay on the popular route. Yeah. What's up, Brennan?
Oh, thank you. I was just curious, Mr. McGowan.
Yeah.
Just a question from the press. If you were to had known ahead of time that this was directed and produced by the same people as Gangsta, would this still have been your choice?
He's thinking about it.
I like the trailer. I like the trailer.
The trailer
was
it's so funny.
dope.
The
It's
trailer
so
was dope.
funny because I feel like I asked a yes or no question and didn't get an answer.
I like the trailer. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like
the look off
That's
was
a
hilarious.
pivot.
He was
That's a
like, I mean,
pivot.
because I hated Gangsta, but I don't think like I hated it as much as Rob hated it, or
That's
even
fair.
anybody else. Like I think Gangsta is terrible. Don't let me let me
We
say
gotta,
that.
we gotta go back to the scores. I feel like you probably gave it some of the lower scores out of all of them.
It was trash, but I think I didn't.
look, Ice, you're saying a lot of words. I'm only looking for 1 and 2.
I don't know, man. I guess we'll see at the end.
You know what's funny? Ice always goes, I didn't hate it as much as you got, but you go back to the scores. He has like the lowest
It's
score
like
out of all of
negative
us.
17,000.
Makes no sense at all.
No, I feel, but I didn't passionately hate it. Like, God of High School, the last 4 episodes, Brendan, I wish you were there to see it, but I
I was
went
very
off.
sad I wasn't here for the last
I don't know
episode.
if you listened to the episode, but I was very irate about that. I even called
He was
you.
mad.
You did.
'Cause I
He
was
was
so
mad.
mad.
You did call me. You were so mad. I think 2 of you called me. Who else called? Was it? I talked to Keenan about it too. No, it was Rob. I think I talked to.
No,
I think I talked to
you.
each of you. I talked to Rob then. I talked to Rob about the end of
Yeah,
that
we
stuff.
talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We talked
I
about
was-
it. You were
I
telling
was-
me you
I
were
was
not
deep-
looking forward
I
to it.
don't know. I think, honestly, to answer your question right now, I still would have did it. Yes, that's my final
I
answer.
respect that.
Seems,
I respect
that
it.
seems like the answer
Yes.
you'd give. I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not disappointed.
And let me just preface this too. I never said I said when it comes to the anime, our popular ones do the best, which that's just a fact on a page.
Sure.
So
And I'm like with the Patreon, when we start one, because we're gonna start a Patreon soon, guys. We start doing a Patreon. We're gonna do more. We're gonna bring back fan picks also with the Patreon,
Yeah.
and we're gonna be killing y'all if y'all pick some whack shit.
It's gonna get real dark and dangerous when we bring back the fan picks. We're gonna be going
why
into the
we
weeds
even?
with that.
Why
I'm
do
sure.
you guys bring up these ideas and subject matters and put them out into the universe? Why? Why would you even?
I like the
manifest
fan pick. The fan pick didn't bother
Brennan
me like
is
it bothered
forever
y'all.
scarred. I think Brennan and Rob. I
Do you
don't
not
really give a
remember
fuck.
Kuroko no basketball?
I do, but I think
Do you
that
not
you
remember
got
how long that was? Do you not
you
remember
and-
the feeling of
you
going
and-
through that show?
You and Rob. No, you had fun with it.
Yes. What?
You and Keenan had
sitting
fun
down,
with it.
felt my eyes slowly die. Like
But
my
you
eyes
had
were
fun
like, yo.
making
Three-pointer!
We had mad jokes.
You
We had
talking
mad
about
jokes.
acting
Yeah.
when you did a damn good acting job throughout that entire series because you love all of the references to real basketball. Oh, this person's like a Chris Paul and this
I
person's like
was not acting. I was doing everything I can not to kill myself of boredom while watching that show. So I started researching shit that happened because I'm like, obviously the plot ain't doing shit. So I might as well do something for it. So yeah, I made those episodes interesting. I'm sorry that didn't work for you, Ice. That
I
shit-
thought
It
we
did.
had
That's
fun
why
with
I said, You
Kuroko.
could have fooled me. You could have fooled me.
I'm gonna make every episode as interesting as possible. Ask my flipped chair. All I'm saying is,
Ask his downstairs neighbors.
Yes.
All right, man. So y'all ready to get into it? You ready, Rob, to set us off?
That I am. I'm
All
ready
right,
to do
let's
this. All right, so episode 1. This show starts out our main character, Ganta, he's watching an ad for a theme park called Deadman Wonderland at his desk just before the school day begins. Then his friends, Mimi and Yamakatsu, filter in. They talk about their upcoming trip to Tokyo where they're actually going to visit the theme park, which it turns out is actually a private prison as well, where the prisoners work as the park's entertainment. Apparently, they used to live in Tokyo about 10 years ago, but everybody left when there was this disaster that called the Red Hole. Something opened up in Tokyo, and everybody kind of just had to flee. And whether it's because he was young or maybe he just like blocked out the memory, but Ganta says he doesn't really remember even living there at this point. But the happy scene soon turns into a nightmare when a floating figure caped in red rises up outside the window and in a vicious attack just kills everybody except Ganta, tossing Mimi's head at his feet and then just like embedding this like red crystal that looks like it's made out of blood in Ganta's chest that just like he screams and passes out. And when he wakes up, he finds himself basically in front of his court-appointed lawyer, Tamaki, and telling him, like, hey, you've been accused of killing all your classmates. And he has no proof of his innocence. And even when he's just like, no, I got wounded too, like to show him where the red crystal was, that's gone. So, public opinion totally swings against him. And then on his day in court, his lawyer accidentally, I'm doing some big air quotes here, accidentally reveals a deep fake video or something of him admitting to the crime in his office. And then he's sentenced to death by the judge.
Well, hold on,
his friends...
I gotta say this, Robert.
Go ahead. Yeah,
like
go ahead.
Got to play the evil version of this. They must have paid Tanjiro some money. Because he looked a little bit like Tanjiro. They got like an evil Tanjiro to just beat a...
Yeah, he did.
It was just like, come on, man.
They found somebody out there. They went out on a casting call, found Tanjiro's evil lookalike, brought him in for the tape. But he's getting dragged out of court, and his friends' grieving parents are just like, he gets dropped and the parents like run out of the aisle just to kick the shit out of him as he leaves.
That's from a structure standpoint and a security standpoint, that was garbage. I've seen people get hit in court, but
one hit. They were
stomped his
Dad
ass
picked
out.
up. Dad picked up by shirt, punched in face.
They fucked him up. But as it turns out, Ganta will see Deadman Wonderland after all. But as a prisoner instead of a guest, on the roof of the park, we see this mysterious pale girl in like a skin-tight suit and red paint, and she's singing the song about a woodpecker, which kind of comes up later. But inside, this hard-nosed warden, Makina, with her G cup apparently, which they felt was important to tell us.
Tell me, I'd say that moment right there was probably one of the biggest plot twists I've experienced in a long time.
Let me ask you, are y'all watching sub or dub?
Come on.
Subtitle, yeah.
Sub.
Are you watching dub?
Of course he is. What are you talking about? It's
trash. And Funimation, they default to dub.
They default to dub.
I didn't even take the time out to even
because when I originally watched this, I watched it in sub.
Okay,
so I'm rewatching it in dub just to.
Look, Keenan, that might be true, but please don't try to take away from the fact that you are in fact Keenan Baker.
Right. Like that wouldn't.
Did I like anime?
If you never seen it before, you would have did the same thing. That wouldn't have changed. That had no effect on the choice you made.
It had a lot of effect on it.
Okay.
Was there something different there? Did they change it up? That whole interaction?
No. The interaction's the same. I just wanted to hear the voice actors, because the voice actor in the English version does a pretty good job as the voice actor as the sub version. They do.
Gotcha.
They picked a whiny little bitch in both.
Fair. And I thought it was interesting too, and maybe this is the same, and I don't know what they did for the English, but even like in that deepfake video with him, when he was describing what he did to the classmates, like they censored stuff and bleeped shit out even in Japanese. Did they do that in the English?
No, they're saying fuck, bitch, ass, fucking cunt, all that shit.
No, you have to go down on the bottom of the information thing. There's an uncut. You have to click uncut.
But I did uncut.
I'm on uncut. Yeah,
I'm trying to think. Was mine? Actually, I think mine was blurred out.
Yeah,
too,
it said beep. It just say beep.
Yeah. This version, it's letting every word go. It's crazy.
Man,
all right, maybe I'll switch just for the. I guess not. But so yeah, the warden Makina, she's welcoming the new prisoners, basically explaining their high tech security they have there. Their collars and how you have to follow her rules to the letter. And she demonstrates her strictness when a passing prisoner bumps his cart into Ganta, and she just slashes him with her sword for being clumsy. Like he stepped out of line, she slashed him up.
No,
vibes you giving me?
She didn't slash him for being clumsy. If you guys remember what she said. Yeah, she said, "Hey, give back what you stole," and he was like, "What are you talking about?" And then he slashed her. She slashed him. Was like, "I told you," and then that was it.
She's giving me vibes of the general from Full Metal Alchemist. The sister.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Armstrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up. I agree with that.
I can see that. But Ganta is just horrified as they take the wounded prisoner away to the infirmary. But later, Tamaki, who is actually much more than just a public defender and actually seems to be kind of in charge of this prison, busy guy, maybe even higher than Makina, is scolding her for being too harsh. And they kind of discuss their plans that involve Ganta meeting with accident, air quotes, accident, big air quotes, accident before his execution. But later he muses to himself about how unlucky or lucky Ganta was to meet this guy that he refers to as the wretched egg and survive, the man in red. Basically he's like, he's got two options. He can do what I want, and he can basically die, or he can become my pawn. So that's his plans that he's got for Ganta. But meanwhile, he's doing some manual labor at the park, thinking about his dead friends, wishing he was dead, when the pale girl appears to him and...
Dead.
Nah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Yo,
Brandon.
Oh, my friend.
Dog, that's
That's
the theme
fucked up.
song for this fucking show. That's
That's it.
hilarious.
That's
Push it to
really
the
funny.
edge. All my friends are dead. That is the title of this
Oh
episode.
my god.
That all my friends are dead. But the pale girl who we saw
That's
singing on the
unreal.
roof, she shows up and appears. She's just like, "Oh, you want to die? Like, no problem. I'll help you out." And just like starts swinging a pipe at him. But he's like, "No." And like, I do want to live. And she realizes that in his heart, he does want to live, and he is a truly good person. She seems to realize that he's innocent. So she introduces herself as Shiro and says, "Hey, like, we should be friends." But soon, some other prisoners show up. And they threaten Ganta, and a fight ensues where Shiro shows she kind of knows how to fight. She starts pushing some people around until she gets knocked the fuck out with the shovel. They clock her over the head and she goes down. But Ganta is again just getting absolutely pummeled when a bomb that's strapped to the structure above them explodes and brings down all this debris on them. Ganta resolves, hey, I really do want to live for my friend's memory and unlock some kind of power similar to what the Wretched Egg, his school's attacker, had, and it allows him to protect Shiro and himself, and seems to be tied to hit that crystal that's activated in his chest, and it is still there. Elsewhere, we see a desperate death row inmate with a hostage demanding candy, something, but the guards just basically wait him out. Something in his collar kills him. That's basically, we'll find out later, this is part of his... that was part of his... that was
so
kind of just...
That scene was so stupid.
Came out of nowhere and didn't really do anything, but elsewhere in the prisoner, we see others eating candy, and somebody's timer. There's like a timer on one of their collars. It goes up to 72 hours. And we even see that prisoner that bumped into him pickpocketed Ganta and stole a piece of candy. That was what he took from him, and what the warden had said give back. But apparently he still hung on to it. But sometime later, Shiro and Ganta wake up safe from the trap that was laid out for Shiro, and they promise, hey, we'll eat snacks together sometimes because that's what friends do. They eat snacks together. Episode 2. In jail, apparently. Makina is watching the footage of Ganta's accident and wonders how he survived when the other prisoners all died. And on top of that, Tamaki seems totally happy that Ganta survived. And, she's suspicious about his hidden motives and revolves to watch Ganta a little bit more closely. And he's healing up in the infirmary himself from the incident. And doctor asks him if he's been eating his candy, and he has no idea what the hell she's talking about. So she explains that, the collars, if you're a death row inmate, they are constantly injecting like a poison into you. And you need to eat this nasty tasting candy every 3 days, which is the antidote. And if you don't take it, you'll die. That's the death penalty. That's what he's been sentenced to. And the thief who stole it, who we find out his name is Yu. He's sitting in a bed over just across in the room, and he's just like, "Oh, hey, you must have dropped it when I bumped into you." But the doctor leaves Shiro, or when the doctor leaves, Shiro shows up and surprises everybody. She's just like jumping out of vents, and she tells him about a race that's going on, and Yu kind of explains that this is one of the shows that the prisoners entertain guests with, and if you win the race, you get money called caste points, and you can use that to purchase things within the prison like food, drink, but also more importantly, the candy to stay alive. And at the very least, you'll get food for participating. So they all decide to enter. But Yu makes a phone call later reporting on Ganta's moves. So clearly he's being hired by somebody. But Yu and Ganta are getting ready in the locker room before the race when a big fish at the prison named Kazumasa shows up, and everybody gets real serious. It turns out he's this...
Debo.
He's an Olympic-level martial artist that got in trouble when he assaulted a reporter who he was trying to hit on, and now he just like runs this prison like he owns the place, and he gives everybody a hard time, tells them to let him win or else, and when he spots Ganta and Yu, he just kicks the shit out of them, breaks Yu's arm, knocking him out of the race. Shiro and Makina soon show up and kind of break up the fight, but Kazumasa's just like, I'll get even with all of you eventually, but After this, Gonta reads the prison's rulebook and sees that the price of the candy is 100,000 cast points a pop, which is exactly the amount of prize money, for this race. So he's like, I got to win this race or I die, like, tomorrow. So that's his motivation. Meanwhile, Tamaki tells his staff to like crank up the deadliness of the race to as high as possible and tell the crowd it's just acting. Tell them it's just a show. When the race starts and people are dropping dead left and right, either from the challenges and the obstacle course or because they're trying to run and they've got like snipers all around this thing dressed up as theme park mascots.
Who in their right mind runs through an open field with no protection and barriers with a bunch of snipers on platforms shooting you?
I'm guessing they didn't know they were going to get shot. I'm assuming that's like
what it said.
Prior to that, it didn't used to be like that. It wasn't that deadly.
Yeah, remember the dude he said you're going to rev up the bodies and they're just like...
I'm just saying, bro. Like, I mean, for me, it's like as soon as I saw that those things were swinging and they were real, I'd be like, no.
Like, this is my first...
I'll take my chances.
This is my stop. Like, all right, guys, well, I quit. I give up. I forfeit. You win. That's it.
They were trying to quit. They shot the people for quitting. It was crazy.
They ran off the thing, and then the snipers was getting them. The only way that they could have stopped it if they would have quit prior to in the locker room.
Just lay on the ground.
Just lay down, yeah.
Run up, trip, and just stay there until it's over.
Play dead. Until the corpse retrieval team comes to get you.
I'm awake.
Just prone down the whole shit.
Yes.
But using teamwork, Gonta and Shiro, they're able to progress through the deadly challenges while Kazumasa is right behind them, getting farther just by killing and sacrificing those around him. And the crowd they love it. But finally it comes down to the last challenge, and it's just Gonta, Shiro, and Kazumasa. And to win, they have to be holding onto this special ball when the time runs out, and there's these platforms that drop. It's like a combo of like Fall Guys and Halo Oddball. Like it's kind of like a weird combo there. But Gonta gets the chance to win when Shiro sacrifices herself for him, but seeing how much she hurt herself just trying to help him win, he saves her instead of going for the ball, and Kazumasa falls into the spike pit below, and there ends up being no winner. It's bittersweet for Gonta because he's happy to have a friend again, but knows that without this candy, he's going to die tomorrow. So... As the episode 3 begins, Tamaki is getting lectured by the board of owners at the prison, just like, what are you doing? You can't be just killing the prisoners like this. This is ridiculous. And he's just laughing at them. They threaten to take their issue to the director, but he's like, that man's like just a living corpse at this point. I'm really the one in charge. And besides, this whole prison here is to keep this wretched egg in prison. So, and we see that, that guy actually is somewhere in the prison being held in this like high-tech lab facility somewhere deep in the bowels of this place. Gonta, meanwhile, eating his red bean bun consolation prize with Shiro, thinks to himself about, this being his last day alive, and he writes out his will to his cell. He's trying to leave it to his friend's parents, but Yu appears, turns out they're cellmates, and he gives Gonta back his candy, but pretends I just found this, and Gonta, is like, I owe you my life, and, basically falling right into Yu's plans. He's smiling, like, behind his clasped hands, just like, yes.
Mr.
His
Burns.
plan is... Exactly. His plan's going perfectly. Diabolical. And we see in a flashback, Tamaki's basically promised him tons of cash points to keep an eye on Gonta. Elsewhere in the facility, Tamaki gets a call. The wretched egg has escaped. And soon he appears where Yu and Gonta are sharing food, and he begins another attack. Prisoners are getting just ripped apart, and Gonta's horrified at first, but soon becomes enraged when he sees Yu get hurt, and decides like he's not going to let this monster hurt his friends again, and activates his like blood powers, and he attacks the wretched egg, and when he does hit him, but the damage doesn't seem to be really anything serious to him. He just kind of smiles and takes off while Gonta collapses in exhaustion.
Let's get it clear. He took his head off with a shot. It regrew with a smile.
Bring it back, yeah.
It was unclear to me if he like knocked it back.
One of my questions
like,
refers to that if we're going to use it. So I just want to make sure it's clear that he used a projectile and took off this motherfucker's head.
I thought he knocked it back too. I thought he just knocked it back.
No, because it got small and then grew back big.
I thought he just sunk his head down.
He might have sunk his head down, but all I'm saying,
came back up.
I thought that it looked like his head exploded to me, and then it grew back again. That's what I imagined.
Yeah, maybe it was like a Ninja Turtle thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
he just
like retractable. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But Tamaki is thrilled. He seems to have found someone else with these powers that they kind of refer to as like sin powers. Ganta wakes up at the infirmary with Shiro next to his bed, and he tells her all about what happened, and they hear the other prisoners talking that they think it's this guy that basically destroyed this construction wall in the park like 4 years ago, and he kind of disappeared, but there's rumors that he's still in this place called Cell Block G. So Ganta escapes. Ganta escapes his bed and heads out to find the Cell Block G to confront the wretched egg. Makina, however, has seen enough and wants Ganta brought in. She activates this like killer robot to capture the prisoners. But it's been out of commission because basically it's been so brutal. It's killed like 24 prisoners, and they were just like, all right, we're not going to use this anymore. But she says it's worth the risk to try and find out what Tamaki's up to, basically. And Tamaki, in Tamaki's office, Yu's like, I want out. I'm like way in over my head on this, but Tamaki just throws more cash at him, basically, and he's like, all right, fine. And we next see him like joining up with Ganta and Shiro, and Yu tells him like there's only 6 cell blocks and it stops at F. But Shiro says she actually knows where Cell Block G might be, but she's reluctant to show them where that is until the killer robot shows up and just starts blasting everything in sight. They hop into a vent and escape, but the robot follows them, and Yu's able to deactivate it for like a little bit using his what he calls his sticky fingers.
Side note.
That's fair. Yeah. I get that. We could talk about that later.
Yes, we will.
I totally get that. As they venture on, Makina loses their signal and realizes that there must be areas in the prison where she doesn't even have jurisdiction, that she doesn't know about. But soon they reach this giant door with G on it, but still the robot's right behind him. Ganta apologizes for getting them involved, and this pisses off Shiro. She kicks the robot and is just like, of course we're involved, like we're your friends, and I'm trying to help you out. And he realizes that's what this she was all mad about because she wants to be Ganta's friend. But it's the real treasure all along. But just as he's having that realization, the robot rises and takes aim at Shiro, but somebody else with these blood powers emerges and just takes the robot out with like one hit, stomps on this thing's head and just destroys it. And as the dust settles, Ganta sees this smirking man with blood powers, and he believes at first that this is the guy that attacked his school. The man acknowledges Ganta and asks, hey, are you the woodpecker? Which, a callback to that girl's song, before creating these swords on his forearms made out of his own hardened blood. Back in his office, Tamaki's having a virtual meeting with his personal Fight Club investors, and they're all talking about the next matchup that involves Ganta, but he's interrupted to be told about the fight that's about to break out in front of Cell Block G with Ganta and this other guy. This guy with the blood swords introduces himself as Crow and says that, hey, we're supposed to fight tomorrow. Why don't we do a little warm-up fight? Why aren't you using your sin powers? And Ganta realizes this isn't the wretched egg, but also, his powers are connected to his blood. So that's a big revelation for him. And just as Crow is walking away, he does reach out and use one of his shot attacks and hits him right in the chest. And it's enough to break through Crow's swords too. So he's invigorated by this and is just like, all right, cool. Let's fight then. But they basically get taken out by, what stops him is Shiro tackles him and he gets totally thrown off guard because he's scared by her boobs and skin tight outfit or something like that. But the prison guards show up soon, trank Ganta and Crow, send Shiro and Yu back into Gen Pop while giving them some exposition about, those infected with sin are, those that have been affected by the red hole that took over Tokyo. But they also use all of his cast points. They take all his money and shove him out in the fucking cold with nothing. Meanwhile, Makina has her people look into where Ganta is, but they can't find this dude's fingerprint or footprint fucking anywhere. He's disappeared. Ganta and Crow are getting treated for their wounds. Crow has a few broken bones from Ganta's attack, but he overcomes his fear of the nurse and her feminine figure to attack her to make sure she writes down that he's fit enough for this rematch with Ganta in the fight tomorrow. Meanwhile, Tamaki's giving Ganta the 411 on the real Deadman Wonderland. Basically, this whole prison just exists to keep this underground fight club going with these people that are infected with sin, so they can better understand their powers and how strong they are. Ganta tries to fight back, but recognizes Tamaki as his public defender, knows he's behind framing him, But he's on this weird like table that's rigged with some kind of tech that paralyzes him, and he's given these like clockwork orange eyelid holders that he's forced to watch a video all about the Underground Fighting League and how the Wretched Egg is the source of all these powers. And for some reason, this Wretched Egg took a liking to Ganta and decided not to kill him and to give him these powers. But as he watches this horrifically violent video, he screams in terror as the Crow is doing one-arm push-up in the basement, just like itching for a rematch with him. And that's where we'll pick up next time, is hopefully his fight between these two.
That was a really good recap, Rob.
Yeah, it was.
It was really
Nice
good.
and tight. Oh.
Appreciate it.
So that's
All right.
for the recap, Rob. Appreciate it. Now
We
we're
did
on
not
to-
need that at all. We did not need that.
Nope.
We did not need that. And then you double down. All right. Moving on.
It wa- Anyways, question for us on the show. Do we do? We ask a little bit of questions. All right. First question: name an experience that wasn't jail but felt like it. Ice.
So, growing up in school, obviously it's been well documented that I got into fights. But first time I got in a fight, got suspended, like at the crib. Didn't get in trouble because I didn't start the fight. But I was like insubordinate or something, which is not a suspendable offense. But they send you to, I don't know what you guys call it, but we call it ISS, in school suspension.
suspension. Yeah, we had that
School
too.
suspension.
Oh my God. I have never in my life, I remember it was third grade, I've never felt like that before. Because it's one thing to be at home suspended because you're at home, you're around your family, you're around video games, you're around whatever. Even if you're on punishment, you still got some type of, access to something. ISS, you got to watch everybody. Because my ISS, how it was set up, you can see everybody at recess. And they did it on purpose. You can just see everybody enjoying their life on the swings, having fun, doing backflips, hugging, hanging out. And you just sitting there stuck. And our ISS teacher, she was an asshole. Like, she was an asshole. She was super a stickler about like everything that we did. Like we couldn't do nothing. You couldn't talk. You couldn't read anything outside of a textbook. Like if I had manga, I couldn't read my manga. Couldn't read my Shonen Jump. None of that shit. His social studies, that's it. So I was like, yo, this is like I never forget that experience. Like I remember times I would just be like, I would not want to get in trouble for insubordination. I like just suspend me because I don't want to do this ISS shit because it was, man, that level of boredom is really unmatched.
Rob.
Yeah, I'll say a similar thing actually. I didn't have to like do it for like a whole day ever, but there were a couple times I got sent out of the classroom and had to go like they basically had like a holding room or whatever that you just sit in and like it literally was like you didn't have to like write over and over and over what you did wrong, but like they had you like fill out like a questionnaire of just like what did you do? What would you do differently next time? Like that kind of shit. I just remember hating that, and it was just like you just sit there. This was before like I didn't even have like a cell phone at that point. And if I did, they certainly weren't going to let you fucking play with it. You couldn't have like a book.
Damn it, cat!
It was damn it. But yeah, it was basically just like that was basically my experience.
Brendan.
Rob completely lost his whole training.
Yeah.
He just fell off and Keenan saved him. He was like, blah, 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 blah. Keenan was like, go ahead, Brennan. Oh man, that was excellent. For me, I was grounded a lot as a child for grades, but my parents, I agree with what I said. Actually, I really felt that there are creature comforts at your house regardless of how grounded you are. But I don't know what your guys' grounding experiences were like, but my grounding experiences were very jail-like. What had happened was every time I got grounded, which was often, multiple times.
What was that time you had it for like a whole semester?
I had it for a whole year, my whole 7th grade year.
That's
the entire
sick.
school year.
Same year. Six.
I think Keenan's parents did the same thing, is where they would ground you for the whole semester. And so if I got anything below a B, I was grounded for the semester. And I'm not going to tell you what I wasn't allowed to do. I'm going to tell you what I was allowed to do because it's a much shorter list. I was allowed to eat, drink, breathe, use the bathroom, and read. And whatever else I could do in my room that did not involve any kind of electronics whatsoever, of any sort, or anything that I just generally wanted to do.
In reflection, do you think that was overkill, or you feel like that was okay?
On some real shit, like I could actually make a strong argument for both, because I feel like it was an overreaction for the pure length of time that it was. But at the same time, it forced me to develop a whole nother side of myself. It was like that's when I became well read. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, all right, you ain't gonna do it in school. You're gonna do it at home. And so, like, it didn't matter what I read. So that's when I became kind of a nerd. You know, I started reading, like, Harry Potter books. I read every Harry Potter book 4 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you don't know, like, between those 7 books, it's like each one of average probably about, 500 pages on average between those books.
And it just grows each one, you know. Every book grows more and more.
That's what's that, like 3,500 pages that I read 4 times.
Easily.
It's like, yeah, and I just started reading a bunch of other stuff, and that really informed the way that I speak, approach life, understand the way people think, and people make fun of reading or make it sound nerdy or whatever, but the thing that people don't realize is that when you're reading, you're actually being able to get a step into someone else's brain. It's like you put on somebody else's brain suit for a while. And world sometimes, depending if it's fiction or whatever. You're actually,
which makes sense because you're so big on world building.
I am. And it's and the other thing is, it doesn't, like, it's different from watching TV or watching movies or anything like that. Like, you get much deeper into the world. It's much more intimate experience because you're building it with them. And so, you know, that's for me why I like to read is because of that time. So very intense. I think definitely overkill, but what came out of it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel what Brendan's saying. I've been there with a semester. Luckily, mine was below a C. So if it was below B, I would have never. I would have been on punishment throughout middle school through high school and that bitch. So thank God. But my experience.
Nah, you would have met it, bro. Like,
you would have figured it out.
You would have figured it out. It took me a while too, obviously, but I believe if they would have put the bar there,
it's like Neo in the Matrix. After a while, it's just like you start seeing it like. I see what y'all on.
Or you're going to be like the girl who died, like, not like this.
Right.
Not like this. You know what it was? I think what it was, too, is because since I was able to get C's, I was just like, well, I'm just going to just get C's. If I can get C's, I get a few A's.
That's exactly what I did. I graduated with a 3.1, which means I just got B's. So wherever they put the bar is where I was going to be. They could have put it at anything below an A. I would have got all A's. To be fully honest. I would have hated them.
I'll say my experience was probably a little more intense. We went. Me and my brother. It's funny when for abused kids, when you're getting abused a lot, they took us away from our parents for a second, and they put us in this place called Orangewood. Now, it was just in Orange County. Now, what's funny about this is that you think with abused kids, they put you in a place and they'll probably try to help build you up and be really, really nice to you. No, this shit was like a prison. Like, literally, it's next to a prison in Orange County. It's a prison, and then there was a place called Orangewood right.
So it's like a group home.
It was kind of like a group home type thing.
Please tell me that most of the kids there weren't black.
And then no. It was like, I would say it was probably a good split between Hispanics and blacks. A few white kids, but Hispanics and blacks.
So all the brown and black kids in Orange County got hurdled up and put together. And you're fucked up zone.
Like the first or second day we got there, bro. Like, they put us in like this brick wall cell, pretty much. It's like a dorm cell.
Mm-hmm. With the white bricks.
It was like either white or like brownish gray bricks or something like that. And they had us in these cots. I think the first day we got into a fight with some Mexican kids, and I ain't gonna lie, I took one. I took one to the face. And my brother had hands. He came, put them both out real quick with one hitter quitters. And
can y'all imagine Keenan and the little brother like, okay, we're gonna
It wasn't even like a fight thing. It was kind of like
thank you, brother. Thank you.
It was really like a
potions.
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 It was kind of like on some, like, we got in there. And once we got into our room, they kind of was like, it was like some jail shit, like kind of like this is like our shit type thing. And then an immediate reaction to me is like they got aggressive with me first, and my brother was just bow bow. It was on their backs. Then they didn't fuck with us at all the rest of the time. But that felt like, bro, only good time that I had in that place was when one of the ladies took me to the side and she would help her make brownies, and she would let me eat the brownies that were breaking. Yeah, the batter or like the brownies that were breaking. But that shit was like literal fucking jail, bro. Fights broke out every day in there. It felt
How
like
long were you in there?
Let me tell you something. It felt like months. It might have only been a few weeks. But it felt like we were in there for like a month or two. I can't give you the time frame, but you know how you'd be like, you're gonna call the people on your parents. I'm gonna call, yeah. After that, I was like, I'll never do that shit. Never. If that's where we gotta go, I'm good. I'm straight.
I'll take it here.
Nope.
Damn.
I'll stick with the devil I know.
And I did. And I made it.
Still strong.
All right, next question. If you had to go to jail, how long do you think you will survive in jail? Me, I would like to think that I would hope that I would get bigger. Like, I would hope to get bigger fast. But I mean, I don't know. I always think about this. I always think about like these movies, and if I knew like martial arts, the first thing I'd do is go in there and I break a nigga's leg. That's the first thing. I always had it in my head. Like, first thing I'm gonna do if I knew martial arts, I'm breaking somebody's leg. This is like, don't fuck with me. I'm not playing with y'all. But I don't know, man. You know, I feel like I'll be able to. I feel like I'm really good at adapting to my environment. So I feel like as soon as I have to get aggressive, I'll get aggressive. Even if I gotta bite a motherfucker, I don't care. But man, that'll be a scary feeling, man. I would be. One of my fears was always being like charged like incorrectly, especially as a black man. I was talking as a kid that could happen to us a lot. So
Facts.
I was so afraid of going to jail for some shit that I didn't do, just like this fucking show. Brendan.
You know, normally when people get convicted to go to jail, like if they didn't just kill a bunch of people or something like that, like when you can get bailed out of jail, before you get sentenced, even after you get sentenced, normally there's like an acclimation time before you actually go to jail. Or prison, I should say, because prison and jail are different. You go to jail right away.
Absolutely.
You know, but this is prison. So prison, you got time before you go. Yeah. But prison, you normally have about like, hey, you're going to go to prison in a month or two or whatever. They'll let you know when you need to be there, and then you're like, all your past, everything is shut down. Now, for me, I know exactly what I would do. If I felt like I could run, I'd do that. But if I did not feel that I could run, then I would immediately start taking Krav Maga. Immediately. That's what I would do. It's like getting bigger, whatever. No. I'm going to learn how to make my body a weapon. And it doesn't matter how big I'm not. Like, the first person that comes for me is going to experience everything I just learned for the last 2 months that I focused 100% on. So I don't think I would have trouble surviving in prison. Like, most people don't go to prison and then die. I think that over time, it would end up... I personally believe that over time, if I had to be there for a long time, I would end up being somebody in some form of command or control. I really believe that. I truly do.
At 5'6", Brendan
not
walking
about-
around like... Brendan
not
walking
the-
around
first
prison
of all-
like with his hands up. Hey, homie. You know what
5'7".
it is, homie?
5'7".
Be up in here.
5'7", number one. Number two, there's a lot of
What you
different
got on
forms
my
of...
ramen, cuz?
A lot of different forms of power, and yes, the first level of power is size and like physical manifestation. But when you're stuck with people for a really, really long time, that's not the power that overstays everything else. And so I say that as I get to know and people get to know who I am and what I'm about, I think that I will have some power at some point, and I'll be running that motherfucker. It might not be at first. I might take all the L's, but those people who gave me the L's when I first got there, they will regret it at some point. I guarantee that.
Yo, man, BE coming to the yard. BE.
Hey, remember when he tried
It's
to
just
get us
B.
to say that shit?
His name is B. The thing is, everybody always think when I say B, I just mean one letter. I don't.
Yeah. I would love to see Brendan run a prison yard, dog. Somebody write the script for that shit. That'll be
Please.
just amazing. He fixing his
Shit,
glasses. Hey, guys.
no strength, no muscle, still dad bod with no kids. Like, everything's still the same. Running it.
Rob?
I'm sorry, what was the question? Because how long would I survive? Fucking not long. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm not getting any power. Like, I don't think there's anything I could learn in like a 2-month period that would not make that like the worst fucking period of my life. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be good for me. Yeah, maybe I'd probably come out the other end, but I think it would be a bad experience unless somebody's got like a book club or something they want to run, like in the library or like, you know, I've heard on This American Life, there's some prisons that do like Shakespeare, some plays, like maybe I'll get one of those clubs.
Yo, Rob being in prison doing plays will be fucking hilarious, dog.
Doing fucking Hamlet in prison.
And he didn't take my cherry.
Yeah, oh my God. No, it would be a bad time.
Fucked up, Brennan. That's
be
fucked up.
I didn't think anybody heard me. I wasn't going to repeat that.
I didn't hear it.
No.
That's fucked up, man. What is
No,
wrong
man.
with you, dude? Come on, bro.
Brennan, come on,
This
man.
needs to be the part of the
Rob,
interruption.
did you hear what I
need to-
said?
No, I have no idea what you
need
said,
to
but I know it can't be
You need to be
good.
muted for the next 5 minutes at least, bro. What the fuck? What's wrong with you, bro? How am I always the only one catching this shit, bro? Last time he said some outlandish shit. What the?
It broke up. I couldn't hear it.
Oh, my
Go
God.
Go ahead, Rob. Finish up.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if I've got any more to say about that. Like,
Dude is sick, bro. The fact that you did it in a Shakespearean voice, I'm sorry to interrupt.
You can tell me
but
what I said if you want.
Fuck. Nah, bro, I'm not doing that.
But they're gonna be able to hear it anyway because the audio's gonna be clean on the other end. But
Yeah, you go ahead and rewind that, guys. Enjoy. That was for you.
at the end of the
All
day,
right, great.
right now, Rob doing plays in prison is fucking must see TV for me, bro.
I
mean,
see it. I can just see him getting
shit.
mad at being like a play director and just be like, "This is bullshit."
I'm fucking background? What are you talking about? You don't respect the art.
I will go grab your understudy right now from Cell Block G.
Oh
You
my
want me to go
god.
get him?
I'll go get the wretched egg. My god. Sloppy, learn your lines. All right.
You got all day here. Learn your fucking life.
What else
What
are
else
you doing?
Right.
Oh my god.
Hilarious. If you've watched, if you've been to a bonfire show, things have transpired in my life to put me in some weird spots. So I think I'd be all right. I think I would definitely shave my head. That would be first and foremost. I can't go in there with my hair
braided, nigga.
Yeah, I'm not.
No shit, you sit in between somebody's legs.
No,
You get
not
braided
at all.
up.
Not at all. If I would definitely shave my head because dudes in jail like to reminisce and not I don't want them to see me and be like, ooh, he got hair just like my girl Felicia. Like I don't need that. I don't need that type of energy.
He got that natural.
Yeah, I don't need none of that energy. I'll come in there bald. To Brennan's point, that would not happen. Fuck you. To Brennan's
He's
point,
having too
I
much
would
fun
just,
with this shit.
hone in and get in shape and really be on my shit. But I feel like I'd be all right, as long as it ain't no life sentence. As long as there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And long as I did the shit, I think I'd be all right. If I didn't, if I was wrongfully accused, and I was in there, I think that'd tear me up a little bit more because I ain't did the shit. I'm all about reaping the consequences for making your mistakes. But if I didn't do the shit, I think that would just be terrorizing me, and I would spend all my time trying to get myself off.
Right, and it's funny. At the end of the day, dog, somebody gonna rub their hands in your hair. And you ain't gonna be doing nothing about it at first. It's gonna get at least right here. Then you gonna sock them out. But at the end of the day, a man rubbed his hands through your hair.
Yeah. That's why I said I can't. I'm going Shay. I'm Michael Jordan. I'm out here.
All right, man. We saw on the show, man. There's a particular character on here that he just keep getting his ass whooped in some way, shape, or form. Man, is there anyone who has taken as many L's as this guy in as many episodes as you've seen as the guy Ganta with the candy at Rob?
Yeah, that guy the dude that stole his candy. I don't think every episode this guy got his ass kicked or handed to him in some way, shape, or form. He's kind of my favorite character because he's like, every time he's just like, yes, everything's going according to plan. Until he gets fucking slashed up. He gets his arm fucking broken. He gets swirled around in some like haze, like crazy tornado. He's just like, what the fuck is going on? And then at the end, they fucking steal all his money. Are just like, get the fuck out of here. This dude, and then he's still just like, Ganta's falling right into my plans. This guy is hilarious. He's just like constantly getting his ass kicked. I feel like he hasn't taken an L quite as hard as Kato, but like he's taking more consistent L's.
Right.
And which is worse? Is just one big L or just a consistent, just like...
I feel like one big L will feel... You be like, damn, this hurts. But if you keep taking L's every other day, it's probably going to feel worse. Go ahead, Ice.
As much as it pains me to say this, I think that in a short period of time, that time span, I don't think nobody has taken as many L's because I think this maybe been a week at longest, if that.
Yeah.
So like to take that many L's in a week is tough, but a character that I've seen just take L's for just a long period of time hurts my soul. But man, Vegeta, bro, like Vegeta been taking over. He's taken 3 decades worth of L's. Like
Yeah.
Dragon Ball started in the 80s. Dragon Ball Z started in the 80s. Like 3 decades of L's, fam. Like
it's a lot.
And
that's a lot.
It hasn't stopped in Dragon Ball Super, bro. And this new in these new manga chapters, it's just
that shit is out of control. And that sucks even more because I remember Keenan talking about it when he started reading. He was like, "Damn, I think Vegeta's finally gonna get his W after this long time." But now to find out he didn't even get it. So it's like 3 decades. the 40 years was looking at you. Like, I think that's the only person that rivals Yu's level of L's.
I gotta say, I think it's clear and evident, man. Kenny from South Park. He died.
Oh, okay.
No.
Every
Yeah.
fucking episode.
Yeah, true.
Every
For like
single
how many
one.
years?
Yeah.
Is he
I
even still
had
on the
that.
show anymore?
I had that one.
Is he still on South Park?
Yeah, they permanently killed him off for a little bit, and then they brought him back, and now they still kill him, but not every episode. They still kill him every once in a while. They did perma kill him, but now they did a whole thing. It's, if you check it out, they did like a 3 or 4 episode arc where like they made them all like superheroes, and they made it so like that's Kenny's superpower is he keeps dying and coming back, but he's the only one that remembers, and he's like this Batman character that like keeps like getting himself killed over and over and over again, and nobody
that one.
and he's like crazy because he's just like, how does nobody else know that this is going on? It's actually pretty great.
That's good.
Yeah.
And shout out to the South Park writers, man, to keep that going for 20 seasons almost now?
At least.
I mean, they damn near up there with the Simpsons, bro. They're great seasons. Like
they've only
Simpsons
had
doesn't have
kind of
20
soft
great
seasons,
years.
but like
Yeah.
very
South
great.
Park's got a lot, like 20 great seasons. Maybe a few misses here and there. Simpsons does not have 20 great seasons.
Really?
They got like
Oh no,
They got like
it's like 7.
They got
8.
like 8.
Yeah,
8.
maybe
What?
8.
8?
Yeah.
9.
Consistently
Yeah, maybe.
throughout the whole season. They'll
Yeah.
they'll have
Yeah.
episodes in those seasons that are great, but then
Yeah,
they'll have
like
the whole
seasons
season.
2, 3, 4, 5, part of season 1.
Like-
I mean,
Yeah,
our
like 2 to
childhood.
Our early childhood.
The Simpsons
Yeah,
when
like
it
2
first
to
came
10.
out changed everything because of how funny it was. It's kind of like how
Yeah.
Family Guy was, but lasted longer. Had a longer, like, crazy great streak than Family Guy did.
You telling me the Simpsons only had 8 good... Don't even give them 10?
No.
I would say anywhere from like 1 to 10, you got a pretty good chance of getting a good episode. After that, it's a crapshoot. It could be good, it could be terrible.
Yeah.
That's wild. How many seasons? That's...
I feel like Family Guy is pretty consistent too, though. Fairly.
Out of 32 seasons.
They just keep making them. I don't know. I'm a proponent that they should let The Simpsons go. I love The Simpsons. The first 10 seasons are incredible, like so incredible. But like, yeah, no, Keenan's got it right. It's the money. They sell merch. So
Simpsons is Dragon Ball Z, bro. They're gonna keep putting this shit out because the bread is just too much. It's just too much money, man.
Yeah.
Brennan.
I made a list. So I just made a list while you guys were talking. I was like, well, if I'm gonna be last. I had a feeling I was gonna be last. I was like, let me just think about this. So the first L that I could think of that came immediately to my head was Team Rocket from Pokemon.
yeah, they took a lot of L's.
Yeah, they took a lot of L's. If you've ever seen the show Phineas and Ferb, their older sister, takes L's quite consistently. That show is absolutely quality. If you haven't seen it,
That show is probably one of the best well-written Disney shows.
It's one of the best.
Period.
Like, if you haven't seen Phineas and Ferb, just to give it a super quick advertisement, because it deserves it, is that it's kind of like Scooby-Doo, where the same thing happens every episode. But how it happens every single episode is what they write differently. And I'm telling you right now, that show is fucking hilarious. And how they do it. And it's a kid's show, but every time I watch it, I'm like, yo, these writers do the same thing every episode, and they make it better or different. Like, it's great.
And even you sprinkle Perry the Platypus on there too.
Yeah, that happens every episode.
And he can have a show by himself.
There's 2 shows in one show that are 2 legit shows that operate in sync, but also not. It's crazy. You have to watch it. Like any one episode too. They all stand alone. Just watch any one episode of Phineas and Ferb. You enjoy it. And then I have any Scooby-Doo villain, Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
Mad
With the ladies.
Yeah.
With the ladies.
Yep.
With the
Dexter from Dexter's Lab. Krillin.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Dexter. Dexter's Lab is great.
But tell me he didn't take so many L's.
He did.
He took a lot.
Trial
Not
and
as
error.
consistently, not every time,
Not
but he
every
did take a
time,
lot of
but
L's.
normally he took L's. Krillin,
Yeah.
Frieza, Yamcha. If you watch Bleach, there's another Vegeta on that show. His name is Renji. And then the chicken from Family Guy.
But the main thing about this question was, is in as many episodes.
I stand by
Oh,
almost all of those.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I mean it's concentrated. He's on like a 1 L per episode like streak.
Yeah,
like
that's
if
what
you
I'm
look at
saying.
his
So,
stats,
Team
he's got
Rocket.
1 L in as
Team
many
Rocket.
minutes. You know,
Team
For
Rocket,
sure.
Phineas and
Yeah,
Ferb's
definitely.
sister, Johnny
Johnny
Bravo,
Bravo
for
show.
sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the rest of them is like pretty much anytime they show up, then it's probably going to happen too. So we don't know for sure if this is going to be 100% of the time that this is going to happen. It has been thus far, but we don't know.
Eustace from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
He'd be a good one too.
He be
Eustace from
taking
Courage.
L's.
Yeah, he
He
takes
does
an
take-
L.
he
That's a
does
good
take
one.
L's.
All right, next question.
Oh, I thought you was about to start singing fucking
No.
Nickelback.
They
Now
need
he
a hero
is.
that can save him, though.
He does. He needs a hero.
I told you. I told you. Just because. Why did you bring it up? I'm sorry. Please.
All right, next question. How for what happened? And that's the first question I asked when I first saw this, and then it's the first question I always ask when I when I saw it again. How do you think a single kid killed all of them,
Yeah.
Brennan? Like how?
I mean, watching this, I'm just like, I have to give the writers and director credit on this. They didn't even try to explain it. Like, they didn't even try. They didn't show any of the arguments. They didn't show any of the evidence. They didn't show anything because they knew they couldn't. There is no way whatsoever to explain all the windows being blown out of out the side of a fucking classroom and, like, the entire class being murdered except for one kid who ended up being covered in blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, with just everything destroyed on a superhuman level. And they're just like, yeah, that kid did it. Like, and what proof do we have? Oh, a shady video of a kid, that kid saying, I sure did it. And that's it. That's all the evidence you need to convict them of massive manslaughter and convict an underage youth of 14 years old to death at a privatized prison.
That's no manslaughter. That's first degree murder. That was
That's murder.
premeditated.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just like, that was one of the biggest plot jumps I have ever seen in anything. And I was just like, I can't comprehend. Help. Somebody, please.
Bro,
Help.
this is a quick answer for me. Where the fuck was forensics? Like, this is their job. Their job.
Yeah.
Where's CSI, Miami or Japan? Where is this fucking taking place at? Where the fuck are they at?
CSI Japan.
They did not do their job, bro. At all. This is not physically possible. Stupid. Ice.
As much as I want to say that it's not possible, but this, like, the first thing that came to mind from a realistic standpoint when I watched this was when they see it. So the Central Park 5, that just gave me. Granted, it's a far cry from that, but at the same time, that's the most real thing. That's like falsely accused kids. Put in a bad spot, wrong place, wrong time. So I think that kind of grounded it for me, but at the same time, like, murder, like, that's to that many kids, was like 26 kids or something, 27 kids. That's outlandish. I don't see how any kid can be, like, even just looking at it, like, ain't no kid possible. Even the high school, if a high schooler was to do that, that would still be outlandish. Like, that's not possible. So kudos to them for not even trying to explain that. And from a anime consumer standpoint, I really wouldn't want them to try to explain it. I think that would have took up a bulk of the episodes, and I think let's just get to the shit. Like, let's just get to it. I don't want to see all of that. Like,
And to the shit we got.
yeah. So
To
yeah,
the shit we got.
Rob?
I mean, there's no way on God's green earth that kid could have killed everybody in his fucking classroom. Yeah, and their write-off was in the video. He said, I did it with a weapon that I hid so well that nobody will ever find it. But I don't know how that lines up with what they found, because they found this kid fucking asleep in the classroom. Like, it's not like, so where would so you're saying that he killed everybody, went and hid it somewhere, nobody would find it, went back to the classroom and fell asleep before anybody else came across this guy? I mean, it makes absolutely no logical sense. But like Ice was saying, they were like, all right, we got to get this kid in prison. We need to, like, motivate him to hate this, like, Cape dude. How are we going to do that? And they just, like, fucking wham bam, like, thank you, ma'am, got it together and just, like, threw it. And they just moved on. They're just like, fuck it, he's in prison. It's done. Because there's no, like, you definitely have to suspend your suspension of disbelief to go along with that. I mean, there's certainly some examples in real life sometimes where cops will be like, all right, we just got to, like, move this case from unsolved to solved. We have, like, too many unsolved, like, murder cases or whatever. We just need to put a name on it. Sometimes they'll just mark it as a suicide or whatever. But I mean, in this case, yeah, there's just no logical way that this one, like, 14-year-old kid murdered a whole classroom of kids like that. Cut off, all, like, their heads and shit.
Yeah.
To that,
And then just, like...
just had a minigun and was just, like, sprayed his whole class.
But how does
Yeah.
a 14-year-old kid not only get a minigun, bring it into the classroom?
He had it handed
And
under the
hide
desk.
it. And hide it.
Yeah.
Right.
Somewhere in the school? I don't know.
And
I mean, come on.
Nobody from any other classroom, because it can't just be a one classroom school. Nobody else walked in and was like, yo, fam, what the fuck? Within the first 3 to 5 minutes, like, none of that shit adds up.
Yeah.
At all.
Nothing.
But
Yeah.
like Brendan said, kudos to them, man. They didn't even try, and I think that was the best route that they could take in this situation.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like some to make a murderer thing where they like, oh, we got the confession, boom, case closed. Like, let's move on. Next.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, next question. What's the silliest thing you've seen someone bleed from? Ice?
Actually, myself, at football practice, we didn't have pads. We weren't doing pads or anything. I was a receiver, went up for a catch, and then this dude tried to come. This is worded badly, but tried to come over me, and he had like this fang teeth. Like he basically bit my head. Like he came down trying to grab the ball over me, and his teeth came, bit me on my head, and then next thing you know, I just was bleeding, like down my face. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Head wounds will bleed, man.
Yeah, and it scared the fuck out of me because I ain't never bled from my head to that. Like, I'm just in the huddle and it's just like, bro, you bleeding. I'm like, what? He's like, you bleeding. And I'm like, and it's just blood coming down. I feel like I'm in a damn WWE match or some shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, I was just like so stupid. Like, everybody's like seeing me with patches on my head and stuff, and just like, what happened? What happened? They think it's some like crazy story, and it's like, nah, fam, I just went up for a pass and the dude literally bit my head.
Brennan?
I think that when I think I've told a part of the story before, so I'm not going to go into the whole story. But I'll just say that there's a man named Everywhere. He is a singer, songwriter. He's won some Grammys. We made a TV show with him in Cambodia, and one of the smartest things I've ever done in my life when I went to Cambodia was I brought a big ass medical kit. I didn't know it was going to be a smart thing, but this dude could look at his fingers the wrong way and they would start bleeding. Like he cut himself like on everything. No matter where we went, his finger, like he was bleeding. Like no matter where we went, he's just like, and he'd always do the same thing. He'd be like, Brennan, and then look at him, and it's just like his hand would just be like bleeding. I'm like, what did you touch? We're like, you're in a bathroom. Like what? And it's like, I don't know if remember that story I told you about, like somebody crushing the like the whole stool. Did I ever tell you guys that story?
I don't think so.
All right. It's too long of a story for this podcast. But either way, he just bled all the time. So I'd say we were gone for like 45 days. And I'd say out of those 45 days, his hands were bleeding like at least 15, 20. At least 15, 20.
So
We
he
used
was
the
a
entire
real life
kit.
equivalent to you, like taking all those L's. He was just taking bloody L's the whole time. By the way, you is a terrible name for a person in any anime. Like that's a terrible name.
I know. It's not good.
Not
Wait,
you,
wait,
Brennan.
so-
not
yeah.
you, Brennan.
Not
took me a
you,
second.
as in-
No, the character.
That's why I had to.
That's why I was quiet for a second. Yeah, you did
That's
that.
why.
It's like you.
Followed up
Back.
with what I said.
At first, I was ready to fire back, and I was like, "That didn't feel malicious, but it sounded malicious."
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that follow up, because I was about to make myself look dumb.
Rob?
I just remember the dumbest. Yeah, I guess for me, the dumbest time I ever bled. I was actually started with. I was in 6th grade. I was just like in a baseball league or whatever. I got hit with a pitch like on my thumb, like when I was up to bat, and like I sprained my thumb. It was like right on my nail, and like the blood like started to seep underneath the nail, and it was separating from the skin. And that took like a long way to work itself out. In fact, so much like baseball, that was a summertime, summertime sport. 7th grade starts, it's still coming off, and I joined the school football team, and it's like right before our first game, and the coach is getting us like all like hyped up, like in the locker room, like, yeah, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna beat whoever, and everybody's like, yeah, and like we all like throw our hands up or whatever, and my thumbnail was like hanging off a little bit. I got it caught on the guy's jersey in front of me, and as I went up, my thumbnail just ripped the fuck off. Just ripped off. And I was like, I saw it like hanging off of the jersey, the guy in front of me. And I was like, oh. And like I looked down and my thumb's just bleeding. I'm like, I gotta go to the medic cart. Like I gotta go chase down coach. But that was, I mean, It was something I was actually glad to have it come off because, man, that thing hurt. When, like, if you caught it on anything, it was just like, ah. So once it finally was gone, I was so happy it was gone.
Did you play that game?
Yeah, because the game was actually the next day. Like, that was our last practice, and then the next game, yeah, they just wrapped up my thumb, and then I played.
Okay. You was out there like, what's his name, Pierre? Dude from the Giants that blew his finger off.
They told me to... yeah. They just told me to walk it off. You know? Walk that thumb shit off.
Mine was, I couldn't really think of one, and then I just thought of this recently. Be honest, I put a jump rope in my mouth. When I was a kid, I put a jump rope. I put like the jump rope string in between my tooth. And I already had a missing tooth, so I put it on this, and somebody just yanked it and pulled my fucking bottom tooth out as a kid.
Was it loose?
No.
Oh.
So it was a tooth gone.
Why would you do that?
Man, I did stupid shit as a kid, bro. Like, I almost blew myself up as a kid. Bro, like you already know this.
That story is hilarious, but why would you do that? That's like
I have no comment.
Home, I tried to tell my dad what happened, and he was just like, "Well, go fight him. Like, what the fuck you doing here? Like, if you feel like he did that shit, you got to go fight him and beat him up."
Did you win that fight?
I didn't go back and fight because it was completely my fault.
You told him to rip your tooth out.
First of all, that's horrible advice from any parent ever. It's like, something happened to you? Violence. That's the answer. It's like, wait, what?
I told the story. My dad is like, well, it's no reason to lose a fight, but yeah.
I've never heard that advice. Like, my parents were never like, now go whoop their ass. Like, my dad was like, defend yourself. Don't let nobody put hands on you. But it's never been like afterwards, post the event, like, no, go back over there and conduct a fight. Like,
imagine some 13-year-old kid in your yard trying to fight your kid, and you like, why are you trying to fight my kid? He was like, because
my dad told me to.
And he pulled a jump rope in my mouth. What? Get out of my damn yard.
Did he put the jump rope in your mouth? No, you put it in your own mouth. Get the fuck out of here, man.
What are you doing? He ain't fighting my damn kid.
Yeah. Next question. This is a fun question. What was your favorite thing about school field trips, Brennan?
I have the weirdest answer to this question, and that's why I'm saying it. So outside of the experience when I became of age to start like getting closer with women and stuff like that, and like, opportunities to maybe get your first kiss or whatever, the thing that I enjoyed most about field trips is that my school had a notoriously shitty record of school field trips with buses. They would always have mechanical errors on the expressway for some reason. I'd say if I went between the first grade, like kindergarten and fifth grade, on let's call it 15 field trips, I'd say maybe 6 or 7 of them, the bus broke down. And so I used to love that shit because that meant that we didn't have to, like, if the bus breaks down on the way back to school, guess what? We don't have to do school when we get back. You know what I'm saying? We missed a bunch of school. I get to hang out with my friends. They're going to give us drinks and snacks because they always have drinks and snacks. And we're just going to have a fucking party on the bus until somebody comes and fixes it, and then we get on another bus. That's what happens every time, and it always just makes the rest of that day useless. And every time we've been on a field trip, I'd be sitting there like, I always wanted it to happen on the way back. You know what I'm saying? Just like on the way back, I'd always be sitting there like, come on, Bessie. And so it happened, and it would happen. And so I'd just be like, let's go. And I was always ready for it. Like, I would bring my Pokemon cards, like whatever I had. Like, I always had a backpack with like stuff. I was like, if the bus breaks down, I'm ready to play. And it was a good move.
From a mechanical standpoint, because I was thinking about this yesterday because I saw a bus pull up. Bus brakes are always squeaking. Like, I've never heard a bus. Is that just like a regular thing, or all these buses just got fucked up brakes? Because you think that's the last vehicle that you would want with squeaky brakes.
Well, I think it's more of like a physics thing because it's not just buses. It's like any kind of big vehicles. So like if you listen to 18-wheelers, a lot of the times it's just like the bigger and the heavier something is that you have to slow it down, the higher chance there's going to be a vibration than something smaller. And so it's like that doesn't necessarily mean the brakes are bad.
Right.
Because how many times have you ever heard brakes going out on a bus?
True.
It doesn't happen. So it's not that. That's just part of physics. I think it's more so like you gonna hear something this big, stop.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I literally just went to the mechanic to get my brakes redone, and he said, your brakes are at 70%. I was like, why are they squeaking? He was like, sometimes it's the weather, bro. Like, the weather right now has been so inconsistent. It's contracting and stuff like that. So, yeah. I mean, for me, I felt like the majority of our field trips, we were gone the whole day.
Yeah.
That was the funny thing. The best thing for me, my favorite thing was like going on the field trip and getting to eat like. Sometimes they'll feed us, so they'll feed us McDonald's. Like we're buying all the kids McDonald's.
I used to love that shit. Like we get
So that right
McDonald's
there
at
was a-
school,
Bro,
What schools did y'all go to?
Well, it's only on field trip days. Only on
yeah.
field trip days. Like
and
they like,
it wasn't every time. The majority of the time we had to pack a lunch.
Yeah.
But
occasionally
there
you
was-
get that sweet, horrible food for you.
yeah, they'll be like, we're covering the lunch this time around, and it's just like it was always McDonald's. We got the hamburger, cheeseburger meal, Happy Meal, and bro, it was just like
I was the happiest motherfucker in those moments.
perfect. Ice.
I wasn't fortunate enough to get McDonald's on any of my trips unless I bought it myself. My favorite part, because I'm a big music lover and I'm always love to be around my friends. I think my favorite part was we just used to like freestyle and just hang out and do dumb shit in the back of the bus, and it was like our time to be free and impress girls, because I think other teachers took it as a time to talk to each other, so they would just be in the front talking to each other, and like long as you wasn't outlandish, it was a time where like you got to merge with all the other classes, and you just got to kick it. And I think that was just one of my favorite parts about field trips is like in field trips for me, I got the best version of like the adults, because they kind of took it as a field trip, and they was like they would watch us, but at the same time they was like
You
wouldn't let us,
realize
like,
on field
watch us.
trips how much they don't actually care what we're up to.
Exactly, and it was just like this our time to like just be out here. That was the closest feeling I had to an adult, being an adult before becoming an adult, and I always like that.
Rob.
Yeah, actually, I mean, my answer is it's kind of in between both Ice and Keenan's. Like, I enjoyed kind of like everybody had that feeling of just like, awesome, we're not in school, including the teachers. And then like, I remember there were for a few field trips like where, I think we had to, I don't think the school paid for our lunches, but like we got to stop at like a Burger King or something. Like, it was just like, all right, get whatever you want. Like we told your parents to send you with money because we were stopping somewhere for lunch, or you had to bring a lunch or something. And I just remember like a few times, like one specific field trip we went on was like right when Pokemon the movie came out, and like the Burger King was doing all like the Pokemon toys,
Which was
and like
dope.
we stopped, and I got like the Mewtwo toy, like the Mewtwo in the fucking tube. I think maybe it's still in my parents' attic somewhere. That was a big day. That was a big field trip. I don't remember what the field trip was, but I remember like all the kids got like the Mewtwo toy, and we were all hyped. That was a good field trip. Yeah, stopping at the fast food restaurants.
YouTube, I'm sorry, Rob. You can see Brendan's legs, and that attributes to why I think this man is unathletic. I just wanted to say that.
He really meant you this time, not.
Yeah, that really meant you that time.
What's wrong with my legs?
I don't think I've ever seen your legs.
Oh. Well,
I don't think I've ever seen you wear shorts.
I normally don't, but in all honesty, I actually think you'd be pleasantly surprised by my athleticism, Ice.
I want to see it, man. I've been
I
wanting
think
to
you
see
would
it
be.
for the
It's
past
pretty
2
funny to
years.
me. I mean, it's pretty funny to me. Like, just so you know, like athletically, like right now, I do have goals that I'm actually almost achieving. Like, I have the goal of being able to do over 100 push-ups in under 2 minutes, and I'm pretty close. So it's like, you can talk all the shit you want, but
I want to see it, man.
you'll be able to see it. I'll be able to show you.
I've been wanting to see it for like 2 years, dog.
I mean, the thing is, like, you'll see it. You're just not physically around me very much. Like, but if I get excited enough, I feel like doing something. Rob seen me do some athletic shit. Tony seen me do some athletic shit. But what's the point normally? I'm in an office and meetings all day. That's what I do.
True. All right, next question, and then after this we got one more, and then we'll get to our wrap ups. So we watched, Rising of the Shield Hero. Now Fumi has had some pretty bad luck as an anime character. Do you think Ganta gives him the run for his money, Rob?
I would say so. Like, now Fumi, like, definitely had a bad break. Like, they were talking about executing him, but he didn't actually get prosecuted. Like, he got accused of a crime, and they, like, took his stuff and turned him loose, and he just, like, he was an outcast, but, like, he didn't get put on death row and forced into, like, all his friends are dead. All his friends are dead.
Push him to the edge, all his friends are dead.
This dude just seems to not be able to catch a break. He just, like, he's always thinking about his dead friends. He's always, like, everybody's gunning for this dude. His second day in prison, a fucking Olympic-level martial artist knees him in the fucking gut. He's had some tough breaks. Ganta, I think, might be more unlucky than Naofumi. Naofumi, in 4 episodes in, I think is in a better place than Ganta is.
Brennan?
I mean, I fully agree with Rob. Like, Nafumi at least got, he got him a slave girl, he got him a shield, and he also has the ability to go wherever he wants. This young brother got, at the age of, Nafumi also was older. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, 17, 18.
20 years old.
He's like
20 years
college
old.
age. Yeah,
he already
something
lived
like
his
that.
life and was able to develop into a human being, regardless of what that life was like. This man is 14. And he got, you didn't even start off where he got starting to get his ass beat. The first thing that happens, he gets his ass beat by the red dude. Like, gets fucked up by that. And then immediately after that, gets fucked up by the police. And then gets
sent to grown man prison.
Before that, gets his ass beat by the parents of the kids that he's watched die, that were his friends. And then gets sent to prison into slave labor on death row, being poisoned every single day. To then get his ass whipped by the people that Rob mentioned. This brother has taken the biggest L besides Kato of anyone I've seen.
I might want to take Kato's beatdown instead of taking all these.
I don't know.
L's
Kato, outside of his ability to, like, I don't know. Because Kato, like, he's like, remember, only reason he could walk again was because he has, like, is a superior martial artist that temporarily could put
I want
himself
to watch that scene again to make sure.
Yeah, it was like, he
They
couldn't really
wheeled
actually
him up
walk.
to that.
He willed, his decades of martial arts willed him into the moment, but he was wheelchaired up to that, and they're like, he'll never walk again. And then he started glowing, and then stood up, and then delivered the final blow that didn't actually kill the motherfucker. Because I would have killed the motherfucker.
I like what I would say about Kato is he got his ass whooped in a vacuum. Like, he got his ass whooped by himself with with nobody.
He made the choices that got him there.
With no audience. And I think I appreciate that. It's like, if I take an L, like, outside you see me fucked up, but nobody really saw Kato get his ass whooped. He got his ass whooped in the basement. Like, nobody really saw. You just saw the end of. Like, if I come to y'all with a black eye or whatever, like, I can make up whatever story transpired before that and say, like, this happened. He doesn't, both of his legs are broken. He doesn't have an arm. All I got is these black eyes. In actuality, I just got my ass whooped. But Kato has that to this offense. What happened to, that's all we talk about Kato. Is like, at least he got his ass whooped by himself.
Yeah, if that was Kato, I would have said I got hit by a car.
Yeah, I would have lied my ass off.
I got hit by a fucking work truck, man. I'm sorry.
That damn Mack truck, bro.
Bad.
It hit me and then ran over me.
Yeah, repeatedly.
Oh my God.
I'm thankful to be alive. Like,
Yeah, I think it's definitely worse, man. It's the age thing too, bro. It's like, bro, at that age, imagine being 14. I don't care what the crime is. You tell it, because like you said, I think if this is this is us, you see us.
yeah, you see us.
You
Yeah.
see us.
When they see us.
Well, yeah, when they see us. And it's like, when he got put into that prison, he was like 16, I think he was, 15, 16. As a kid, you're not physically built to handle any of that shit.
Yeah.
And it's just like, as a 14-year-old.
Mentally.
And he's a soft-ass 14-year-old. He ain't tough. He ain't athletic. He ain't nothing in him is built like that. He didn't get into fights growing up. That's the worst of fucking luck. I felt bad, and I thought I always picture myself in there. I picture 14-year-old Keenan being put in prison. I was too small, bro. Too small.
I was like 100 pounds. It would have been bad.
Yeah, I was. Yep. Exactly. That was everybody, right? I asked that. All y'all.
I didn't go.
Oh, nice.
I think Ganta is much worse because Nafumi got to redeem himself. He at least had the opportunity to redeem himself. Ganta, after the period,
we're only 4 episodes in.
You said what? But no, they gave him the opportunity to let him out into the world and still do stuff. Like Brendan was saying, he can go get a slave girl. He got the shield. He don't have nothing. Ganta has nothing, and he's a child. By far, it's not even close.
Bad break.
Yeah, this last question is more of actually what do you guys feel is going to happen? And I can't answer this question because I already seen the show. But do you guys think he'll be able to prove his innocence by the time this is over? Rob?
I kind of feel like no, but I don't know. It's tough to know just with where we're at. I don't know that we've seen a whole lot to know, but personally, I feel like I don't know that that's going to be his end goal. I feel like he's going to just try to murder the Red Man, but the Red Man doesn't, or the Wretched Egg or whatever, but I don't feel like he's going to be able to get anybody to be like, yeah, we covered it up. This Tamaki dude, I don't know that he's ever going to get a confession out of him, or, the Wretched Egg doesn't seem like a talker. He doesn't seem like he's going to get him on TV and absolve himself unless he can find some other kind of evidence. I don't know. I think his only I think the only thing he might get is revenge. Personally, I don't know if he's going to get his innocence.
Shit. Nice.
No, I don't think so. I think, again, looking at a 12 episode stretch, and one of the positives of this show is how they've been able to progress the story in 4 episodes. So I think if they wanted to add that in, and especially in a 12 episode run, they would have sprinkled some type of innocence or at least the idea of it in that amount of time. So I don't think he will. I don't like Rob said. I don't even think he's trying to do that. Just like the path that he's on, I don't think he wants that. And 2, I don't think it's going to happen.
Ready?
I don't think there's a show if he proves his innocence. Like that ends the whole show. So no, I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I think he might prove to himself he's in it and to like some of the people that are in there, but like to the world, he's never gonna be innocent because then the show ends. The whole show has to be done within this prison or it ends. So if he does prove his innocence, the show is over. So I'd say until the show's over, it won't happen.
Because I think what I think is probably what happened is like it'll be a tournament. And I think that's what this show may turn into. It's just like a tournament of him working through all of the levels of people that have branches of sin until he's able to get to, and then the wretched egg will pop in every now and again just to let him know, like, no, you're not fucking with me yet. No, you're not fucking with me yet. And then to the point where he like, yeah, fam, I'm actually fucking with you now. Let's get it.
You're getting stronger. All right, y'all. So that's the end of the question portion. Let's get our wrap-ups, our favorite parts, our least favorite parts, and our scores. I'll go first. I have to ask this. I just felt weird. I was just like, bro, where? This is what bothered me. I guess I say this is what bothered me the most out of this whole show so far. Where the fuck are his parents?
Yep.
Yeah, good question.
Where the fuck is any family? Sister, brother, aunts, uncles. This whole time, all the stuff he's going through, he's writing a will to not even his family.
Yeah.
That is fucking sickening. The writers of this show, this kid ain't got a family at all.
Yeah.
Even if he has it's adopted family.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's probably one of those things where he's just like the how did he kill all them people? Like, we're not even going to address this.
Not gonna address this shit. That was the least part. I was just like that just felt like, damn. I guess it makes sense for you. It makes you even feel worse for him. And I don't know if it was done on purpose or they just forgot to write in from parents.
It feels like they forgot.
Yeah.
They could have forgot,
Like,
to be
fuck
honest,
it.
how this shit is going.
We already here. He ain't got no parents. Nigga, he's fucking. No, I was gonna say Ash Ketchum, but Ash got parents. I mean, he got
a mom.
Yeah.
Favorite part is actually I kind of like how they kind of started off hot. I remember first watching this. I remember being kind of like not blown away, but being like, "Oh fuck!" It turned up episode 1 at the beginning. Just got everybody to fuck up out of here fast. So for me, I mean, these first 4 stretch of episodes, the main character, he's a little whiny to me, but he's not Zenetsu, luckily.
No, he's not. What's his name? Shinji.
He's not Senji either. I think he's the worst circumstances, but so his whininess is actually makes sense. So for me, I feel like they're doing an okay job doing character development. I think the world building is pretty good. I like how the world building for me personally. I like how it's been going. So for right now, I'll give this a 6,500.
Here he go with his shit.
Who's talking about?
Mr. World Builder himself.
Oh. Let's go Rob first, and then we'll go Britt, and then you. So Rob.
What I like about the show, I as I was thinking about it, I don't know if it's for the right reasons or the wrong reasons. I fucking love you as a character. Like, he's just hilarious to me that he's just like scheming on the side, just like think he's got the up on somebody, and then next thing you know, he's just getting slashed. He thinks he's doing something clever. He's working his ankles. He's about to give Gantes candy. Next thing you know, his arm is getting. I just love that this dude thinks he's got it figured out and is constantly just like getting fucking like backhanded every episode, getting bullied and pushed around. It's just hilarious to me. I don't know if it's supposed to be, but it's really funny to me. So he's my favorite character right now, just because of the energy he gives off. My least favorite thing is just the general lack of like logic. I mean, we talked about like how the fuck is this kid gonna murder a whole classroom full of his classmates? It doesn't make any sense. How is like even the guy just being like, yeah, just tell the audience it's acting. It's all just a show. how do you act a dude getting chopped in half? That's the first thing that happens. How do you act like a bunch of people getting sniped out, like and people are in the crowd going like, "Whoa! Like, look at this crazy effects!" Like, that's just crazy to me.
I mean,
like,
ask the masked magician.
And I mean, there was one guy in the crowd that was just sort of like, "Yeah, I mean, even if it is real, who cares? They're prisoners." But it just felt like, why bother? Just make it like that's the place. The place is you go to see criminals get killed. I don't see why they have to have it be like, oh no, it's a cool place where everything's like. I get maybe they're trying to do like a Disneyland thing. I get it, but like I feel like it's kind of a half measure to make it go like, oh, people don't think there's actual danger here. Like that's just stupid. Like the people there would have to be stupid. If you spent a day in this place, you'd realize that these people are getting fucked up and killed. So that just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know. It's not really grabbing me right now. I would say, these next couple episodes would kind of make or break it for me if I was going to keep watching it on my own. Like I'd want to see how this fight kind of goes between Ganta and the Crow. That I feel like would be big for me. So I don't know. I'm gonna give this one a 5,000.
All right, and I wanted to add this real quick before Brennan goes. The lawyer dude, what's his name? Tamaki?
Yeah, Tamaki. Yeah.
He's weird. Why the fuck is his room like a fucking child playpen? He's in a plane with an airplane. He has kitty stuff in there. It's the weirdest fucking shit. I should have lowered my score a little bit lower because he's a pedophile. Go ahead, Brennan.
I think that I really like. There's so many thoughts here. So I'll start with what I like and what I don't like. My favorite moment was the moment where he stopped the thing from falling on him when it was going to kill him and Shiro. I also like Shiro. Not for the way that she's dressed or whatever, but the kind of character that she is. Where it's just like, yeah, it's like you got hands. Like it's like you got hands for no reason, but also just like somewhat unaware, but for some reason super deep. It's like a very common anime archetype of a character. Yeah. I've always liked those type of characters. They're always very interesting to me. I'm just like, and the other people just not getting it. It's like you don't get like if you stay on this person's side, like she's been protecting you. She got hands. Like just be cool, kind of thing. There's many least favorite things, but I actually think outside of the general lack of logic in this show, in world building, is that I think that the robot that the warden sicked on everybody was one of the worst pieces of anything I've ever experienced. It just doesn't make sense by any stretch of the imagination, by any standard of anything. Like, they request this man to go to the room, but shut down the way for him to get to a room. And then sick a killer robot to kill him immediately without conversations, without real justification. Just like, he needs to die, and everybody with him needs to die. We haven't done this protocol in X amount of years, but we're just going to do it right now because we're not understanding what's going on. Just kill everybody. Just kill him. That's the story arc right there. Like, just kill them. And then it's like, she knows this robot exists, but the only time this robot came out before was when it was fighting another motherfucker who can apparently bloodbend as well. And it was a draw. Like, he won. The robot won the fight. But I'm just like, first of all, like, there's just so many questions to it. Like, how did the robot get his ass beat by something that's supposed to be able to beat so quickly? Him. How did the robot win last time? Because that little beam is not enough to fight that motherfucker. And, like, just why? Why would you just say kill everyone? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I think that the world building is not good, as Keenan says. I think they do a decent job. It's not bad, but I think they do a decent job of building the world of the prison. But even like
that's what I meant.
But even the prison itself doesn't really fully make sense. They kind of build it, but then like the scale of how the currency works doesn't make any sense. Like the currency to buy the candy versus everything else, and like what kind of prison have you ever seen that has like, yeah, we can use our currency to buy ice cream at an ice cream shop? Like what? Like, this is prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's an amusement park, but have you ever been in the background of an amusement park? Like, I used to work at the Renaissance Fair. I'll tell you right now, behind those fucking stands, you couldn't buy shit, and it was trash. Like, absolute trash. And the backside of Disney World, I'm sure, is the same fucking thing. So why do these inmates have other inmates selling them ice cream in very nice-looking stands that they can just walk over to whenever they feel like it for some reason? Like the world,
they could be living lavish, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the world seems to be being built, but like unequivocally. Like it just doesn't make sense what this world is. Even this prison, they're like, look, here's the 6 blocks, but there's a 7th. Like, so, but we just found out there was 6. Why is it a big deal? There's a 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a G block. Like, who gives a fuck? I just found out that there was an A, B, C, D, and E block the same time I found out there was a G block. Like,
Yeah, it's not a surprise.
It doesn't make any sense how they're putting it together. So yes, they are giving you elements of a world, but they're not doing it in a way that's creative or that flows. And so, and like I said, the only character I like is Shiro. Like, all the rest of the characters, I'm just like, I don't care. If the main character right now died, wouldn't care. Powers, not impressed. These are not powers that I'm like, I sure wish I could bleed and throw it as bullets. Like, I don't care. Like, I feel like this character thus far, the powers that we've seen, would give the hands to most shows that we watch. I mean, other way around. Most shows would give them the hands. And so, like, I'm just not impressed. The fight scenes aren't that great. Like, even when shit goes down, it doesn't really go down. Like, so, oh shit, he sliced up the pipe that he was holding, but we didn't even see him do it because we didn't see him do anything. Because all we see him do is just go like this, shink, shink, and then they do a couple cut scenes of them things being completed but not actually happening, and then like, man, that was a crazy fight. Like, I didn't even see anything. Guess who directed this? Gangsta. So it's really crazy that's how this happened again. So
the bring around.
So all I'm saying is that I'm not into this thus far whatsoever. The story hasn't captivated me. The character development nor world building has not captivated me. The fights, not even the throwing hands, are all that great. So I'm gonna go with about a 4,500 and feeling generous with it.
Nice.
It's fucking preposterous. 4,500. How dare you? What the fuck is wrong with you,
How
Brennan?
dare you?
Wait, what was Rob's?
5,000.
5,000.
I think
Don't do that, because when I say that same thing, y'all be like, well, that's a
Well,
lot of points.
Right. Yeah. So
Please,
fuck out of
continue.
here. To like, first I'll say this. To what Keenan always says is like, I'm not going to give it that, but I can understand why you gave it that. And I can understand the 5,000 from Rob, but the 4,500 from you is a little outlandish, sir. Because I feel like in a 4-episode span, they covered a lot without confusing anybody. Like, I came away from those 4 episodes like, all right, like, this is cool. Once I realized, I did come in thinking like it was going to be a bloodbath in the sense of always fighting, but then I quickly realized, oh, fighting is secondary to this show. And the mystery of what's going on in the Deadman's Wonderland, like, once I kind of shifted my thought process and realized what I was getting with the show, it made me enjoy it a lot more. Like, after I realized this is not going to be some epic fights that you're going to want to look up on YouTube later on, or a crazy moment, like, after that I was like, okay, this is a mystery. They need to find out what's going on with Ganta. Ganta just needs to figure out what the fuck Deadman Wonderland is, like, and his journey through that. Once I figured that out, I'm like, oh, this is cool, and I enjoyed it a lot more. And I think the darkness of it is still there, and I still think there's a lot of darkness to go, and from a story perspective. But what they did in that short period of time, like, no episode felt dead, and especially in a 12-episode run, you got to make sure every episode hits. And I feel like every episode, and even hearing Rob recap it, it kind of solidified it for me. Like, every episode pushed the story forward, built more of the world, gave me more understanding of what's going on, and it just added another element to make me want to watch it. I am interested in seeing the next 4 episodes. Shiro, by far, is one of my favorite characters. I can see why Ganta is somebody that, you don't care. He's not as whiny as Keenan led him to be. I thought he was like Sinji level of bitch made, but he got active. Like, he got active when the time came, and when his friends was on the line, and when he saw shit was fucked up, he was ready to fight. So he never really backed down, and I appreciated that about him. He won a lot of cool points from me with that. What I didn't like, my favorite scene was when they was the Fall Guys obstacle course. I like that. Just that segment was it was fucked up. Just the fucked upness of it all. What I didn't like, I didn't really peep that scene that Keenan talked about, but that probably would have been my least favorite. But for me, it's always consistent with me, and it's always consistent in anime. I just don't like the over sexualization. Of the warden, I guess that's fine. She took that, I thought that was dope when she was like, I wear a size G, like, what the fuck is up? I think that was a dope moment.
That was a dope moment.
I don't know Shiro's age, and if it's anywhere under 18, it's fucking weird. And if they're over sexualizing her like that, then I that was definitely my least favorite moment. Overall, I like it. I'm enjoying it. I'm not going crazy with my number because I don't feel like I'm defending it, but I'm enjoying it. I want to watch the next 4 episodes, 6,200.
Let me ask y'all something, man, and we're gonna wrap this up. Has anybody that picked the anime not somewhat defended their anime? The first, at least the first batch of episodes.
You gotta.
We've all done it. I'm not saying this is not a knock at you guys.
You have to.
All
You
have
have
fucking
to.
done it.
You have to.
Yes. Yeah.
And at some point, some of us come to be like, all right, man, I'm sorry, man, for picking this shit.
I don't know.
But I don't feel like a god like Goblin Slayer. I was like, all right, my bad, fam. Like, but this one I don't feel bad. I think
as soon as
I always say go ahead.
His class got fucking slaughtered, and I said, "Fucking ice, man!" Like this shit again. I was like, he's like picks up the head and throws it to his feet. I was like, "Fucking ice, dude!" Oh my god!
I'm surprised you didn't text me to say something like really ice. I was waiting.
He told
for
me.
somebody to
thought
text
about
me.
it.
He hit me up.
I really
It was just
thought
like,
about
me and Rob and I talked about something else, and I think I brought up, I was like, "Oh, have you watched it yet?" He's like, "Yeah, I fucking watched it." It's like Goblin Slayer ass shit. I was like, "What?" And I was like, "He's just like, yo, you'll see when it starts off. It's like it's not as bad, no, but fuck."
Yeah, I said
man.
it doesn't come in as hot as Goblin Slayer, but
comes
it's
in
close.
hot. Yeah. I have one other thing I'd like to say really quick, Keenan, if you don't mind, is that I obviously I haven't seen this show before, and I have a prediction for it that for some reason my computer just closed on me. Oh, but so the guy with the scythes on his arms, for some reason he's obsessed with things being dead center, and our main protagonist had his the blood diamond put into his chest, pretty much dead center. I thought originally it was where his heart, but if you look at it, it looks like it's dead center. And when our main guy with his bullets of blood has hit 2 different people with it so far. He's hit the red guy and he's hit him. The red guy hit him in the head, and this guy hit in the chest.
Yeah.
Is the chest the way to kill one of these guys? Because they kind of sort of have like a healing factor. If you haven't noticed, like they're cutting themselves to be able to fight, and then they never have cuts again. So obviously they have some kind of regenerative or healing factor.
And the nurse did say, like, "Oh, you're healing up fast. Must be because you're so young."
Yeah.
At one point, like after he got fucked up, and like even when he's just like, "No, like I got wounded too. Look," and like ripped open the shirt, and he's like, "Oh, it's gone. I look totally fine."
Exactly.
You know.
So my possible, if this show is smart enough, thing is that actually was a sign that not only were his powers improving because his accuracy was improving. Like he didn't hit him in the head the first time he went for the head, second time he went for the chest. You know, and so is the chest the way to kill him because the diamond's in his chest. And so it's like the main guy can't be killed unless you kill him like that. So I mean, we haven't seen any of these bloodbenders kill anybody yet. So we'll see. Is like either you make them bleed out or you make them, kill the diamond. Blow up the diamond in their possible chest, or maybe they have another place. I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting perspective to see those 2 different things happen.
Yeah, no, and it's interesting too. Even in that like short video that Ganta saw, like it looked like some people got caught on fire. It seemed like there was some crazy stuff going on. So, what the cap or whatever these powers are, it's going to be kind of interesting to see just how they continue to evolve or if they change, from person to person.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that it can. Yeah, I don't know because it feels like. If this show does go in that direction, then I might actually start enjoying a little bit more of it because I'm like, oh wow, that was some deep blue shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they really went in and said like, no, we're placing things here. But just from the way they're building the world, just from the way they're building these characters and how the general lack of logic has occurred thus far, I fully doubt that being the case. But if they did it, it'd be really redemption. They're just like, we've been, we know we fucked up some of these things, but the main reason we're here is actually good. So
yeah,
I want to hold out hope that they'll get over 5,000 for me, but we'll see. We will see.
All right. Thank y'all. Make sure y'all give us y'all predictions and give us y'all answers to y'all questions at the bottom. In the comment section, we always want to hear that. Answer all our questions and stuff like that. I told you I was going to give y'all a shout out. Rob reminded me. I was like, stall, Rob. Shout out to people that gave us some Cash App money. Juvan Sangster. Thank you, man. JS_Noir. He always be showing me love too. So yeah, he shot us a little bit of bread out there in these streets. Michael Johnson sent us some bread. Anthony Connor.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, Con, what's up, baby?
And myself. I sent us some money. So
nice.
You did?
Yeah. I did.
Well, thanks to all those people and Keenan.
Yeah, thanks, Keenan.
Thanks.
Glad you're a fan.
Yeah, I love this show. It's a great It's a great
Not
show.
only am I the president, I'm also a member. Kind of thing. Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and drop your stuff, guys. Go ahead, Ice.
Hey, stop McGowan on everything. I did want to do one quick shout out for Lyric Anthony. He is a just somebody that's always supported us, and he just always loves the fact that we're the greatest fucking anime podcast in the
He almost got
entire
him.
world.
Yo, Brennan, you're so trash. Brennan was ready for you to do it right now.
He went.
He always had
Yeah.
his headphones off, and then he got comfortable.
Exactly.
You
That's why I
gotta stay
did
in the
it.
pocket, man.
That's why I did it. That's why I brought up the shout out first and
Hilarious.
then did that.
Set your ass up.
Man.
Damn, I hit you with the fake and then KO'd him. Because we are the greatest fucking anime podcast in the entire world.
Rob,
Yeah, I'm RV Danger on Instagram, RV Danger 44 on Twitter.
Brennan,
At Mr. Producer Face on the ground.
not
Send
B
us,
yet.
send us. Is there a money cap that we can get to, Brennan, for you to change your Instagram? Like, what amount of money do we have to get to? We should do tiers. Like one tier, a certain tier, you have to watch Naruto, and then the next tier, you have.
I already
to...
started Naruto.
You did? Mm-hmm. Where you at?
Like 2 or 3 episodes in.
Oh, okay.
It's not far.
Not far. All right. Well, I appreciate that. Well, just
I'm not entertained thus far, but we'll get
You
there.
will.
No.
you will be. Don't worry.
I'm
not-
just saying, like, I'm like, I hope this is not what is to come. That's all I
I
have to say.
have zero doubt in my mind. I don't need to preface with nothing. I don't need to have you come
If
in
he
with
gets
any
through
type of
one
thing.
season, he should be impressed. You're saying because he's probably not going to go past the season if it's not trash.
Oh yeah, there's not no One Piece shit where you got to watch 387 episodes to get to the good part. No. Season 1, yes. Season that like 15, yeah, like he's good. I have no doubt in my mind.
Okay. I'm Keenan Baker on everything. Animation podcast for the Cash App. Send us some bread. We can start giving y'all content. We're gonna start working on that Patreon for y'all soon. Gonna most likely be hitting 2021. Thank y'all for tuning in every week to another episode of Animeshun.
Peace.
And so anime was solved forever.